Hello, dear students. Welcome back to MKG Online Study, an e-learning platform. Let me ask you a question, a very strange question, a question that most engineering students never ask. Your laptop runs Windows, your browser runs Chrome, your phone runs Android. All of these are written using programming languages. But here is the question. If software is written in C, then what language was used to build the CPU itself? Think about it. The processor executes code, but who designed the processor? And what language did they use? Today, we are going to uncover the secret language behind every CPU, GPU, FPGA, and AI accelerator on Earth. When we look at the laptop, we see software, we see YouTube, VS Code, we see games, we see applications, but software is only the visible layer. Underneath everything, there is a hardware, and most students spend years learning software without ever asking how was the hardware created. Let's list some famous software. Linux, Windows, Chrome, Photoshop. Most of them are heavily built using C or C hash, C++. So naturally we start believing everything is written in C, right? Not exactly. Because software runs on top of hardware. The real question is, what created the hardware? Every processor inside your laptop, every GPU inside your gaming PC, every AI accelerator running ChatGPT like models, someone designed it. But how? Did they write C code? Did they write Python? Did they write Java? No, something completely different was needed. Imagine tomorrow you get hired at Intel. It's your first day. You walk into the office. Your manager says, "Welcome. We need a new processor. Start designing." What do? Open VS Code? Write CPU.create? Obviously not. Because a processor is not software. A processor is physically hardware. Let's understand the problem. Suppose I write A equals to B plus C, then D equals to E plus F. How does the CPU execute this? One instruction, second instruction, then next instruction, sequentially. Software thinks in steps, but hardware doesn't. Instructions or statements are not hardware. Software follows a path, step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on. This is the world of programming. One instruction after another. That's why CPUs can execute software, but hardware itself works differently. This is where things get interesting. Inside a processor, ALU is working. Registers are working. Memory interfaces are working, control logic is working all at the same time. Not one after another. Simultaneously, hardware is naturally parallel, and suddenly we realize software languages were never designed for this. When people hear processor, they imagine a black box. But inside that box are thousands of hardware blocks. Adders, multipliers, caches, registers, control units, pipelines, everything connected together. Now imagine trying to describe all of that using only C. Very difficult. Now let's make the problem even bigger. Modern processors contain billions of transistors. Not thousand, not millions. It's billions. Can engineer manually draw every transistor? Impossible. The complexity is too large. The industry needed abstraction. At this point, engineers faced a problem. Hardware are becoming too complex. Millions, then billions of transistors. A new way of thinking was required. A language specifically designed to describe hardware. And that's where HDL was born. Hardware Description Language. Notice the name carefully. Not hardware programming language. Hardware description language. Because we are not writing instruction, we are describing hardware. This is the most important today lecture is, that is, C describes instruction. HDL describes hardware. Let me repeat that. C describes instructions. HDL describes hardware. Once you understand this difference, everything in Verilog starts making sense. Now let's learn one industry term, RTL. RTL means, or the full form is Register Transfer Level. Sounds complicated, but it's actually simple. RTL describes where data comes from, what operation happens, and where data goes next. That's it. That's the language used by chip designer. When companies like Intel, AMD, Nvidia, or Apple build chips, RTL becomes the foundation. Architects create the design. RTL engineers describe the hardware. Verification engineer test it, and eventually it becomes a real chip. This is the entire journey. An idea becomes a specification. The specification becomes the RTL. Specification becomes the RTL. RTL is synthesized. Gates are generated. Then FPGA or ASIC implementation happens. Finally, real silicon is manufactured. This single flow powers the entire damn industry. If you remember only one thing from today's lecture, remember this. Every modern chip starts with RTL. RTL is the foundation. Every CPU, every GPU, every AI accelerator, everything starts here. By the end of this playlist, you will build counters, registers, ALUs, state machines, communication protocols, and eventually you will understand how processors are built. Real digital systems. That is our journey. Today we learned why HDL exists. Next we will learn Verilog, then combination logic, sequential logic, RTL design, verification, FPGA flow, and eventually CPU design. Every CPU, every GPU, every AI accelerator started as RTL, register transfer level. And very soon you will start writing RTL too. Today you learned why we cannot directly design hardware, why LDLs exist, what RTL means, and how chips are actually designed. Now that we know why HDL exists, the next question is, what does HDL actually look like? In the next lecture, we will learn Verilog in 30 minutes and write our first hardware module. I will see you there. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe the channel for the next playlist videos.